Hey, everyone. I'm Becca, and he's Matt, and this is Becca's Book Club Adventure.
Okay, the great outdoors aside, if any of our listeners would like to join in on this conversation, because it's so much fun, feel free to leave us a comment or review, or you can email us at bookclubbybecca@gmail.com, or you can DM us on Instagram at Becca's Book Club Adventure. Hopefully we hear from you. Okay, part 1, House of Sky and Breath. That's chapters 25 through 47. Recap.
All right, so after surviving the Reaper ambush that ended part 1, Rune confronts the Autumn King, looking for answers about the Star Sword, and the Autumn King reveals that the sword was made from a meteorite and suggested Rune should eliminate Bryce to consolidate power.
He's a people pleaser, that one. Therion is called before the River Queen so she can question him about the search for Emil, and also to reprimand and punish him for asking her daughter on a date above.
Over time, Therion's desire for change in his life becomes more evident as the River Queen's punishments become more severe, and often for seemingly unknown infractions.
Bryce convinces Cormac to agree to teach her how to teleport, but with 0 results. Bryce and Hunt continue their search for Emil, but continue to come up empty. And the crew continue to think that maybe Emil is hiding in the Bone Quarter, so Bryce obtains death marks from Jessica so that she and Hunt can go into the Bone Quarter and have a heart-to-heart with the Underking, which just sounds like a great idea.
On the off chance she's wrong, Bryce also enlists Declan to use his computer skills to search all of Crescent City for Emil, Sophie, and the old footage of Danica that could help.
While hitting the gym, hard left turn, by the way, Bryce and Hunt get super spicy. Hunt ends up returning the favor from part 1 and blowing Bryce's mind, culminating in the two both experiencing an ultra explosive I love you session, and also going a step further and calling each other mates.
Rune continues his mental rendezvous with Agent Daybright, and with the mental connection growing stronger, even hinting at a budding romance, even though the two of them have never met in real life.
Spoiler alert, this is one of those things that I'm just like, why? Anyway. Across the Istros, Bryce and Hunt finally enact their amazing 5 out of 5 plan and meet with the Underking. They quickly learn that the Reapers that attacked them at the end of part 1 were not actually from the Bone Quarter, and neither Sophie nor Emil are there in the Bone Quarter. Then the Underking reveals that the Bone Quarter is not an eternal resting place for the deceased. Rather, souls are destroyed and turned into another form of energy called Second Light. And then the Underking and his minions attack Bryce and Hunt.
Through a harrowing battle with a demon dog and many Reapers, Hunt and Bryce survive by combining their powers and channeling them through the Star Sword to defeat their enemies and flee back across the river. Speaking
of being back across the river, in Crescent City, Rune, Cormac, and Ethan need to pass intel Rune obtained via Agent Daybright to another Ophion agent, but their mission is compromised by the arrival of the Hind and her Dreadwolves. Luckily, Rune has them hidden in his shadows, but Mordok still smells something because apparently he's a bloodhound and Danica's father and knows Ethan's scent.
Cormac teleports them away to a bar on the other side of the city before they're caught, and as Ethan and Rune are having a drink, the Hind walks in for a round of poker and a chat, letting everyone know that she's watching them.
At Bryce's apartment, the group reassembles after their ordeals. But then they're rudely interrupted by Sabine doing Sabine things because she violently arrives and accuses Bryce and Ethan of planning a coup against the wolves. Okay, sure. Hunt and Baxian's timely arrival diffuses the situation.
Following this, Ethan moves in with Rune to escape his proximity and old feelings for Bryce, and to deal with his feelings for Connor.
Therion, Bryce, and Ethan pay a visit to the Mystics.
Dun, dun, dun.
Ethan wants answers about Connor. Therion wants answers about Sophie and Emil. The Mystics travel to Hell and begin conversing with Thanatos, another demon prince, the Prince of the Ravine, but Thanatos does a 180 on the group.
Thanatos knows exactly who Bryce is and wants her for himself. He plunges the room into darkness, vowing vengeance on Bryce, and begins to feast on the helpless Mystics. Ethan rescues the Mystics and breaks the connection to Hell. For their help, they're thrown out.
As you're wont to do with people that help you. Yeah. Declan then calls to say that his software has finally found something. It's video footage of Danica covertly taking pictures of books in the old Griffin Antiquities basement library. And guess what? Jessica still has the book and sends it over to Bryce.
The book contains the history and lineage of the wolves, which does not exist elsewhere. Bryce secretly slips into the den to chat with the Prime, who acknowledges Danica's interest and also why that information has been forgotten and deleted from books.
Bryce also slips in a little information about Ethan's situation when she's talking to the Prime, which apparently he didn't know anything about. So the Prime calls Ethan and offers Ethan the opportunity to be alpha of his own pack after the Prime deals with Sabine. Ethan says he needs to think about it because that's usually what you do when you get a job promotion offer.
Ethan goes back to the Mystics to get more answers, but there's no one there to answer the door. After breaking and entering, Ethan discovers that the female Mystic is a wolf and decides that he's going to free her somehow. In the meantime, though, Ethan steals the astronomer's rings that contain the trapped fire sprite slaves.
Back at Rune's house, Ethan, Declan, Flynn, and Mark crack open the rings with a hammer and free not 4, but 3 fire sprites and a female dragon shifter.
I'm pretty sure this is like our first full scene with Mark in it, so that was a little bit of a what? Cormac, Bryce, Hunt, and Rune, and Therion all travel to Yurda to meet with Pippa, Spestos, along with the latest rebel intel and tech. The new tech is a deadly use for First Light.
After watching Pippa slaughter the Veneer crew that brought her the new tech, Hunt decides to torch all of the new tech and weapons to keep it out of the hands of a psychopathic Pippa. And Bryce uses her Starborn light to blind all of the human rebels so that they can all flee before they're killed.
They try to escape via the sea, but end up having to head straight into the trap of the Hind. Hunt goes full tilt into mate protection rage as the Hind IDs them, but before she can kill them, the Ocean Queen City ship called the Death Charger and saves them, and spirits them safely beneath the sea.
So not only are they now enemies of the rebellion that they just attacked, but they're also simultaneously known rebel sympathizers.
On board, Bryce tames Hunt's mate rage the only way she knows how, with the most mind-blowing SEX ever. And she's successful in more ways than one. Not only does she tame mate rage, but she also has their powers merged together into something new, and accidentally teleports them mid-session.
The group also finally finds Sophie, or should I say, the Depth Charger found Sophie 2 weeks ago at the bottom of the sea, dead.
But before she drowned, Sophie carved a series of letters and numbers into herself, and it's becoming to become obvious that she is still wanted, even dead, because a necromancer could reanimate her and create the most deadly weapon ever.
Part 2 comes to a conclusion with Agent Daybright putting up walls between her and Rune after the two get too close to one another during a nighttime encounter. Okay, so we're gonna read part 3, and that'll finish the second Crescent City book for us. And that's what we'll talk about next time.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.